Hello, students. Now we're gonna start our last leg of December month. We have covered a lot of range. Now we'll be starting with economy, right? Okay, let's start. So first is national strategy for financial inclusion. Now financial inclusion, it's also in your syllabus in your mains examination, and many of the questions have been asked on it. The very simple question: financial. What is financial inclusion? What are the different initiatives taken for improve financial inclusion? The major scheme being Jan Dhan Yojana, right. Okay, so this national strategy has come by RBI. First of all, RBI has chalked out this particular strategy, and the idea is to, the component of it are not important from prelim perspective. More importantly, the idea is to strengthen the ecosystem, the normal generic thing. Again, reiterating the commitments given in the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, providing no like zero balance accounts and universal banking and all these things, right? So more importantly, the idea is that this strategy is been organized from prelim perspective, is been organized and approved from the FSDC. Okay, then one of the important point from prelim perspective in the strategy is that we have to make public credit registry. That the idea has been launched. Obviously, we have already discussed it. Public credit registry. So we have to make it operational by March 2022. Okay, so what you need to remember from prelims perspective, that strategy date. So from 2019 to 2024. Okay, so this is the strategy timeline, and it has been approved by the FSDC. So we already did public registry. If you remember, previously we have already discussed what is public credit registry. That will be having all the information with respect to all the credit information given. There will be no minimum threshold, right? It will contain all the credit information. All these are driven by the concerns of NPA, right? And to improve the bank's profitability and operational efficiency, right? Committee YM Dostali committee has recommended it. Then we have already discussed FSDC, which are the members, what are the tasks. FSDC already question has been asked in UPSC. Okay, it's an executive body, not an statutory body. The argument is to make it an statutory body, right? The next is ways and means advance. So what is this? The idea is that you must have read it. It's very simple in given in your static economics books, that RBI gives government, both central and the state government, some money, can give some money for 90 days, and that money will be in the form of the WMA, right? And it is given at the repo rate. The interest rate is the repo rate. Okay, so it is a very short term temporary loan for the short term mismatch, liquidity mismatch for the government, right? So RBI gives a temporary loan facility to the center and the state government, and this temporary loan facility is known as the WMA, charge at the repo rate. It has to be given after 90 days, okay, for the temporary mismatches in payment of the government. More importantly, it is not included in their fiscal deficit targets. Okay, fiscal targets may it is not included. Okay, so this is what is exactly ways and means advance. You can read it up, right? And what is this with respect to corona? Government, the RBI has increased the extent of the ways about 60%. However, states are not that much happy. They are saying that the amount is really less, right? For example, Kerala finance minister has said that it does not address the serious fiscal crisis of the state government. We are discussing in the context of COVID-19. Okay, right. Let's move to the next topic. Next is currency swap arrangement. So what is swap? Swap means one thing swapped with the, for example, one book is swapped with the other book. So currency swap agreement is the swap of the currency. Now India has a currency swap agreement with the first of all, what is the reason of currency swap? Let us discuss that. So currency swap is basically done primarily for two tasks. First, the task is the short term forex mismatch, forex need. So for example, some country needs dollar, right? So the one country can exchange with the other country. Secondly, for BOP crisis, if any country is having some BOP crisis, balance of payment crisis. For example, India does not have any BOP, does not have enough foreign exchange in 1991. So if India would have a currency swap agreement with other nation, India could have given their rupees and they have given the dollars back. So this is currency swap agreement. And now India is having currency swap agreement with many countries. For example, we had with Japan, we are having with USA. Now we are recently, I think 2 to 3 days back, India and Sri Lanka currency swap agreement has been announced. So now we are reading with respect to the SAARC nation. So India is providing currency swap. RBI will be providing some currency swap arrangement to the SAARC countries. In fact, it is revising it. So 2012 already a swap agreement was there, but it has strengthened current, and now RBI has strengthened it till 2022. So RBI is saying we will provide currency swap facility to the SAARC countries, including Pakistan. Including Pakistan, remember that. Okay, SAARC obviously includes Pakistan. So including Pakistan will provide currency swap facility, right? So the point is that the currency that can be swapped are dollar, euro, and Indian rupees. And there will be some concession if someone deals with the Indian rupees. Okay, so after some time, what currency swap basically happens? So there's a predetermined rate. So they determine the rate, exchange rate predetermined. So there is no currency risk, no currency exchange volatility risk are not there. Okay, so both the countries agree that we will do it in the case one country needs it, right? It can be bilateral, multilateral, you can read everything here. Okay, so it can give greater stability to the foreign exchange and the capital markets in India and the other things. Now India has already, as I told you, with respect to Japan, in 2018, October 2018, we had this 75, it was a very landmark agreement, $75 billion agreement we have signed with the Japan, right? So whenever whenever it has BOP crisis, it can consult, it can have the Japan, with Japan it can swap the currency, okay, which can help it to boost its forest reserve, right? So let us discuss about forex reserves a bit. Forest reserve is basically, a question has been asked on the forest reserve, that what are the component of the forest reserve of India. So it was in the news because it has crossed $450 billion mark recently. Okay, so the idea, the component of the forest reserve is first foreign currency asset, like foreign currency in different forms, whether it be dollar, whether it be yen or other forms. Next, gold. Next, SDR and reverse position in IMF. What is SDR and reverse position? SDR is like a currency of IMF. Okay, it's a cocktail of the 5 currencies. Now you do it your detail what is SDR. I think this is the very basic economics when you read about IMF, right? Then so this is the amount of for example, like we have some dollars, so similarly we should have some SDR with us. Secondly, the amount the India contributes to the IMF, so that amount is also available in our forex. So whenever we want, we can take that amount from the IMF, and that is why it is included in our forex reserve. Now what is important from the exam perspective, now this has been asked, that what are the components of our forex reserve. Now what question can be asked is, they can ask you to arrange the different component in a decreasing order or ascending order. So first is foreign currency asset, right? First is foreign currency asset. Next is gold. These two are fine. Then there is a confusion. Then there is a reverse position, remember, because this figure is more than this figure is more than this figure. Then SDR. So this is where you need to keep in mind. Okay, and this is why the question can also come. So I hope now you get it. Next is, let us discuss some differential banks. First, the payment bank. Why it is in the news? Because Indian Post Payment Bank has been launched. Now payment bank are what? Which committee has recommended it? Nachiket More committee. Nachiket More committee has recommended to come up with the payments bank and its differentiated bank. The idea is to enhance the financial inclusion. Financial inclusion, right? Okay, so what are the payment banks? The payment banks are basically, what do you think? Because question has been asked on payment bank as well. It was very hot topic, and you know the famous payment bank, Paytm, Airtel. So these are the famous payments bank that are around us. So few of the characteristics, let us discuss this out. So they cannot lend to the customer. They cannot lend to the customers. If they cannot lend to the customer, so obviously they cannot issue credit cards, because idea of the credit card is by lending only. So they can accept only the demand deposits. Okay, up to 1 lakh rupees. So the question comes from where they will earn money. payments bank? First of all, their own cost is less because they do not need to have a physical branch, right? So the infrastructural cost is relatively less. They must invest a minimum of 75% of their demand deposit in the SLR, from which they will get the some income. Secondly, they can invest 25% of the in the times and fixed deposit in the, so they can invest in the fixed deposit of the other banks, right? From there they will get some money. Getting my point? So the difference between those two will be their money, what they're giving to their customers and what they will be giving to their what they are getting from their other banks and the government securities. Apart from the other operation, for example, the remittance services they will provide and all other things. Okay? Also, they will be the banking correspondence of the, they can be the banking correspondence of the other big banks. Okay, right? So it is there. So if you know Paytm, if you have seen, Paytm also gives the mutual funds now. The service of mutual fund insurance is also provided on the mutual fund. So they also distribute the financial products. And this is what the whole idea of the financial inclusion is. Not only the banks, but also insurance services, also the mutual fund services, financial literacy, all these are the part of the financial inclusion, right? So currently 4 payments bank: Airtel Payments Bank, Indian Post Payment Bank, right? So very famous Indian equity. Indian government will be holding 100% equity in Indian Post Payment Bank, Paytm, and Fino Payments Bank, right? So these are the 4 payments bank. Don't have to remember the name, right? Okay. So the next one is Indian Post Payment Bank. What do you need to remember extra? Achha, why the Indian Post has been converted into payments bank? Because the reach of the Indian Post is really great. It has a very last mile reach, right? So when it has the last mile reach, it can be utilized. Its last mile reach can be utilized to get people to the financial product. So that is the idea of financial inclusion. So having Indian Post working as a payment bank can help us get that, right? It is incorporated into the Companies Act. So this is the most important part from prelim perspective, that it is incorporated under the Companies Act, and it will be a public limited company with 100% government will be owning it. So 100% will be the ownership of the government. Now in future, let's assume that government wants to get this 100% less, then it will disinvest, and this is what disinvestment is, right? Okay. So they will provide all the government to citizen services and all things what payment bank provides, right? You should know the schemes also provided by the Indian Post. Okay, so this is Indian Post Bank, payment bank. Next is small finance bank. So just like a payments bank, it is also a differentiated bank recommended by the Nachiket More committee. So what is the difference between what is the finance a small finance bank will do? From the name itself, small finance, so it will give 75% of its loan quota to the priority sector lending. So this is important. For other banks, we have already discussed 40% is their priority sector lending quota, but for small finance bank it is 75%, right? So this is the first thing. They have to maintain their cash CRR and SLR. So these are the things. Then now the government has said that small finance bank can be later on converted to the full-fledged bank, right? Universal commercial bank. They can be evolved into that. They can be converted into that. No issue with respect to that. So these are the, in a nutshell, the difference between payments bank and the small bank. So what they can do and what they cannot do, right? What they must do, what they can do, and what they cannot do. So they extend the, what they cannot do, they cannot extend the large loans, but they can sell the mutual fund. You can see expand, they have to carry 75% to the PSL, the small banks. Okay. And the payment bank, they cannot offer credit card, extend loan, and all these things. So have a look at the big list, and the questions have already been asked. So if they ask a question, I think it will be more or so it will be based on Indian Post Payment Bank, right? Because it was in the current affair last year. Next is Repco Bank. So Repco Bank is basically, it was in the news just because for a fact that Indian Home Minister received a dividend check from Repco Bank. So they got some profit and the Indian Home Minister got it. So what is Repco Bank? Basically not a normal bank. It's a Government of India enterprise. It is a multi-state cooperative society established in 1969. So it is not under the RBI mandate, first of all, not under RBI's regulation. So by the central bank for rehabilitation of repatriates from the Myanmar and Sri Lanka, Burma and Sri Lanka, for the rehabilitation of them, this bank was situated. So currently it is working only in the southern India, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Right? Government of India holds 49.15% of the share capital, and all the other states share the same. Okay. So this is what you need to remember. So if I don't think the question will come, but more or less it is under the administrative control of the Ministry of Home Affairs, and that is why the dividend is given to the ministry. Okay. Right. So this is it. So just remember, from the south states it is there, and the government of India holds the majority stake. Next, very important, is NEFT. We will discuss NEFT, then RTGS, then IMPS. Okay, so what is NEFT? NEFT is, so what is, why it is in the news? Basically, NEFT is in the news because government has decided that NEFT payment now will be available 24/7. Right? Before that it was not available 24/7. Now the government has said that we will provide the NEFT services will be provided to the people at 24/7 level. Okay, it is different from RTGS. Right? You must have heard very simple words, NEFT and RTGS. I think RTGS is what? Real time gross settlement. So under RTGS is the settlement happens real time, but in NEFT the settlement happens after a deferment. Matlab means it is not happened simultaneously. After some time money gets transferred. So if you have sent some money, if you remember, through NEFT, it does not get transferred immediately. It get transferred after a while. But RTGS, it happens simultaneously. And the government has decided that RTGS and NEFT, we will reduce the cost that bank charges from the customer. The bank cost will be zero. So the bank has to transfer that cost to the people, the customer. Okay. So this is what news is, first of all. So this is RTGS, that is, it happens to the real time and the gross basis. Real time means there is no waiting period, unlike the NEFT. So NEFT, there is a waiting period. Now India has joined very few of the countries in which NEFT is present 24/7. Now this is what I want to tell you. Earlier, in NEFT, earlier the settlement could happen only into a restricted time. Now this has been finished. Now they can do 24/7. For RTGS, it is more than 2 lakh or plus. So for RTGS, the limit has to be 2 lakh plus. And that is why gross settlement is there. And real time the thing is there. So it's big businessmen do the RTGS thing. Okay. And what we do the NEFT, deferred net settlement system. Okay. And both of them are done by the RBI. Getting my point? So RBI takes care of this. Next, NIPA, IMPS. Okay? It is immediate payment service. So it is the same payment service, similar payment service, but it is done by the NPCI. Okay. So it, like RTGS, is transfers the money real time. Getting my point? So IMPS, in what is the difference? IMPS, some money is charged to the customer. Some money is charged to the customer depending upon the amount you are sending. However, as the government, as I told you, the government has said with respect to NEFT and RTGS, there will not be any money there will be no transactional fees. There will be no transaction fees. Getting my point? And also NEFT, NEFT we can do by going offline. Online also we can do, offline also we can do. But IMPS can only be done online. Okay? Right. So this is the difference between small, not very important. I think exam perspective, more importantly from exam perspective, NEFT can come. Right? NEFT and RTGS, these two are more important and more regularly used by the people. Right. So let us revise what we have done. We started with the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion. We discussed some of the old topics, Public Credit Registry and Financial Sector Development Council. Then Ways and Means Advance given by RBI to the central and the state government for 90 days. and not included in the fiscal deficit. The currency swap agreement, what are the roles? Short term forex and BOP crisis. In the case of BOP crisis, and India has been signing currency swap agreement with many countries, it gives more stability to the economy, isn't it? Then payments bank, and then small finance bank, Indian Post Payment Bank, that we discussed the difference between the payment bank and the small finance bank, sorry. So this we have discussed. Then Repco Bank, very like different, not too much important current affairs. You won't find many places the idea of Repco Bank, but it was in the news. That is why we have covered. Again, not very important from police perspective. And finally, we discuss NEFT versus RTGS versus the IMPS. Okay. So with this, we finish our session. Last session will be economy part 2, in which most importantly, we will discuss Operation Twist in detail. Very important for this year prelims. Operation Twist, and along with that, some concepts like bond yield and bond yield and bond price. Very conceptual concept is there, right? So we'll see you in the next class. Thank you, everyone.